Yo, 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 what's good, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. This is Tyrants Bane. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy. Where today on June 28th, 2021, I'm going to talk about Brandon Tatum. Once again, yep, because he is an excellent case study for cognitive dissonance and hypocrisy. And I'm going to break down that very cognitive dissonance and hypocrisy right now with a video he did in regards to Joe Biden, mocking the Second Amendment. All right. So I'm going to play the audio and then we're going to see just how we're going to see. We're going to see what he's talking about. All right.
That's why I'm like, he got to be the dumbest person on planet Earth. Biden came on TV and said, like, the AR-15 is something that people shouldn't stand up for because you don't stand a chance with an AR-15 versus fighter jets, F-15s. Well, let me tell you how stupid he is, and then I'll tell you how totalitarian it is, or even communist that is. So Joe Biden, in his mind, is saying that we shouldn't care what weapons are being ripped from our possessions, because no matter what weapon you don't have more weapons than the government. And that the government is going to take you over no matter what. So you might as well acquiesce. That's pretty much what Joe Biden is saying. Now, when you're brain dead, and you and your son may have been smoking crack, cannot confirm that, but your son is smoking drugs, admittedly, when you got Alzheimer's and you're senile and you've been evil your whole political career, then you're dumb enough to believe that people who are citizens of this patriots, who are in the military, are going to somehow rebel against their own people and take F-15.
Now, let me finish. Let me let him finish his thought.
People at will. Dummy.
Now, I will agree with that, right? Now, that's the argument for a lot of people. When you tell them that, your right to keep and bear arms is very important because you might need to protect yourself against a tyrannical government, they like to tell you, well, the military, they has this weapon, they have that weapon, they got the nuclear bombs, they got the F-16, F-15s, they got, they got, what else they got? The fuck? They got Predator drones and all this other shit, right? And you think that it would be so simple. These people think it'll be so easy for somebody in the military. Now, I've talked about this before, plenty of times. They think it's going to be so simple for, people in the military to turn their weapons on their own people, right? We're talking about weapons that can cause major destruction. Weapons that can level buildings, right? Oh, you think it's going to be so easy for them to do that? It's not, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. And I find it very interesting that he brings this point up. I've talked about this plenty of times. How it would not be very easy for any commander to get soldiers to turn on their own citizens in a country like America. Maybe in China, North Korea, it'll be easy for that, right? That'd be easy for them. But we're a whole different country. All right, so let's keep going.
Patriots who want to preserve the Second Amendment are in the military.
The second
are you going to get in the plane and do something? No.
Right turn.
The pilots who fight for this country are the ones flying the F-15s. They're the ones fighting the helicopters. They are the ones fighting for the country. And if it's between us or them, many of them are going to choose the side of the people. They're not going to say, Joe.
I agree. You would hope that would be the case, but you never know. You never know what the command structure is going to do to try to convince the soldiers that we need to be, aired out. You know what I mean? So you never know. But I tend to believe that it would not be so simple. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? So on that front, yeah, he got something there. He's got something there. Very interesting though, because sounds like some shit I would say, or some shit I've been saying. And just so y'all know, Brandon Tatum has me blocked on his YouTube channel. I can't make comments. I can't leave super chats. I can't do any of that. So he knows who I am, obviously. he knows enough to know that he should block me. So just so y'all know.
Our rights and turn us into communist China, and we're gonna toe the line and get in F-15s. I think I'm saying them right. Get in the fighter jets.
And that's funny too, because I always talk about how we're not China in terms of what our military soldiers would be willing to do for the command. You know what I mean? It'll be a lot easier to convince Chinese soldiers to turn on their own people. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's very interesting that we had that same thought. So,
our own families. Do you think they live? You think the military just live at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base?
Proceed about 1 mile.
They got houses. They have families. They have a community. Where do you think they're gonna go home to when they not deployed? You think they just sit? You just think they just sit at sea for the rest of their lives? Come on, man.
Slow traffic.
Dumbest president ever known to man. But he's showing his hand because his hand is saying, we'll take you over no matter what. You shouldn't worry about your rights because you can't beat the government anyway. The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. All it takes is for a few brave men to take those fighter jets and do what they want to do with it. And you screwed. The arrogance of this man.
now, I don't need to go no further with this video because he starts getting into other stuff. But he's right. It would only take a few, the tireless minority, a few people. Now, here's the hypocrisy. Here's the hypocrisy. He's always talking about
half of a mile, slight right turn.
What the law is,
Armour Avenue.
this law, that law. You got to obey the laws. If you want to change something, you got to go through the court system. All this, that, and the third, right? But when it comes to the Second Amendment, he act like he's a stomp down Second Amendment supporter. He's a stomp down Second Amendment supporter. But what he's failing to understand or failing to talk about in this video is how Joe Biden is not going to go to your door to take your weapons.
Next
Joe
right
Biden
and then
is not
right turn.
going to be confiscating your weapons. Joe Biden isn't going to be arresting you when you decide not to give up your AR-15 or whatever you want to have. Who's going to be doing that? The police. And if the military is going to essentially take the side of the people, well, guess who they will have to contend with? Which
Next
group of
sharp
people
right, and then
in the United
right
States?
Turn.
Which government entity, right? Whether it be local or federal, will they have to contend with? The military. Who would they have to contend with? If the military say, you know what, we're going to take the side of the people, we're not going to allow tyranny to rule over the land. Who would they have to contend against? Would they have to contend against Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Marco Rubio, Bill Clinton? Who are they going to contend with? No, they're going to contend with law enforcement, right? Law enforcement isn't going to stand up for the people. We already know that. They're not going to stand up for the people when push comes to shove and they have to choose the people over the government, over a tyrannical government. We know that they will not do that for the people. They will take the side of the government. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Tatum let you. I broke down how Brandon Tatum basically said that, right? He said that the cops ain't got nothing to do with the Constitution. They ain't got to uphold the Constitution for the people. What was it? Oh, it was gray hair. They don't have to. They're not going to do that. That's not their responsibility. They're going to uphold and enforce the laws. Never mind the Constitution. That's what Brandon Tatum told you. But now he's telling you, right, that the military soldiers are essentially going to, guess what? Protect the people, serve the people, uphold the Constitution, go against the tyrannical government for the people. And he's for that. Imagine that. Imagine that. He knows that if Joe Biden told the police officers to, or if anybody, you know, if whoever commands the police, however the orders come down from the top down, however it trickles down, if the command structure tells the cops, the SWAT teams, the tactical teams, and law enforcement to start wiping people out, they'll do it, right? And guess who would have to step in to prevent that from happening? The military, the soldiers. Because the soldiers aren't trained to treat their own people back in their home country as the enemy. But guess what entity is? Guess what group of government people is? The police. I feared for my life. Bang, bang, bang. Shot you in the back of the head while you were running away. That's how they roll. So, why ain't he pointing that out? Why doesn't he encourage the police? Because the police love him, right? He loves the police. And he's supposed to love the people, supposed to love our freedom, supposed to enjoy our freedoms, the Constitution. Why doesn't he tell and encourage the police to stand up for the rights of the people, to uphold the Constitution? Why say, oh, the police aren't the police aren't responsible for the Constitution. It's not up to them to do nothing with the Constitution. You got to go through the court system. Blah blah blah. Why doesn't he say the same thing about the police that he would say about the military? Because he knows what's up. And that's that cognitive dissonance, hypocrisy bullshit that I be talking about. And this is why I stay on his head. You see what I'm saying? He said all the right things in this video. But for some reason, when it comes to the cops, he does not want the cops to serve the people. He doesn't want the police to protect the people, to protect their Constitution. He doesn't want the police to go against a tyrannical government. He doesn't. He wants us to spend time in court, spend our money in court. He wants us to go through the court system. He wants us to go through the oppressors, the tyrants, political system to achieve the things that we should already have, to achieve the things that should already be in place for the people. It don't work like that. Because this shit is well too established, it's well too entrenched. It has to be broken down. But he don't want to talk about that. But he'll talk about it in terms of the military. Have that same energy for the cops, B. Tatum. Why not? Anyway, y'all like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace out, much love. And y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Am I tripping, or is the hypocrisy slipping? Is the hypocrisy showing? I agree that it's the military's, the soldiers' responsibility to protect the people and protect their rights, protect the Constitution, not protect the Constitution, fuck that, protect our rights as outlined in the Constitution. But it's also the duty of the police officers who swear to do that shit. But you don't want to hold them to that same standard? Very interesting. Peace out.